Good morning, America. The ceasefire in the Middle East shattered, millions on alert for fire weather, and Robin is live in Miami. Breaking overnight, Israel resumes airstrikes in Gaza. Hundreds reported killed across the Strip, hundreds more injured. The reaction this morning.
Extreme fire danger. 20 million Americans on alert as a new winter storm unleashes a blizzard in the heartland after the deadly tornado outbreak. Ginger is tracking it all.
Deportation battle, a federal judge hauling the Trump administration back to a courtroom after they appeared to ignore a directive by sending hundreds of Venezuelans to a prison in El Salvador. Plus, President Trump set to talk to Vladimir Putin.
Breaking overnight, homeward bound. Astronauts Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore leave the space station after 9 months, when they'll finally splash down on Earth.
Spring break mystery. Lawyers for the man questioned in the disappearance of an American college student in the Dominican Republic demanding he be set free, and what her parents are saying now.
Firing back. The influencer who sparked backlash after sharing video of herself grabbing a baby wombat from its mother. She responds this morning after leaving Australia.
Battle bubbling. The new soda wars. What you should know about the popular prebiotic sodas and Pepsi's nearly $2 billion move to take on Coca-Cola.
And everything's coming up roses.
Rose Basketball Club is the first Unrivaled champion.
Overnight, the new groundbreaking league's winners crowned. Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union, and me, courtside for all the action.
Robin Roberts is more than just the host of Good Morning America. She's basketball royalty.
Aw, thank you, Lisa Leslie. We are live in Miami this morning with the new champs giving them their flowers.
Live from Times Square, it's Tuesday. Good Morning America.
Basketball royalty Robin Roberts down there live in Miami. How's it going, Robin?
Oh, you can just call me Robin, George. You don't have to call me Queen Roberts. Hey, guys. But the basketball fever, it is blooming, dare I say, here in Miami. Unrivaled, that new women's basketball 3-on-3 league. It's really changing the game. And last night, the Rose Basketball Club put the pedal to the metal to become the first Unrivaled champions, and it was a terrific game. But what happened on the court last night, just the beginning for what this league is doing off the court too. They have more than 3 million people that tuned in to Unrival's opening weekend, and I cannot wait to tell you more about it and give you a special behind-the-scenes look at this league. You'll see it only right here on GMA, George.
We can see you're excited about it, Robin. Thank you. That's coming up. Also, Ginger standing by with the latest on the dangerous fire weather conditions for millions. Heartland bracing for a blizzard, but we're going to begin with breaking news overnight, the end of the ceasefire in Gaza. Israel launched extensive strikes across the Gaza Strip overnight. Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz is tracking the latest from Washington. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George. There had been hope for the release of the remaining hostages, hope that the ceasefire could hold. But this morning, make no mistake, a major Israeli assault on Hamas is once again underway. This morning, the tenuous ceasefire between Israel and Hamas over. Israel launching a wave of deadly airstrikes across the Gaza Strip, lighting up Gaza just after 2:30 a.m. local time, in the largest assault on Hamas targets since the ceasefire took effect nearly 2 months ago. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordering the IDF to take forceful action against Hamas after the terror group refused to release more hostages. Netanyahu calling for continued extensive strikes. Explosions could be heard throughout Gaza. More than 400 people killed and more than 500 injured, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. A number of people are trapped under the rubble, so that number is expected to rise. Hamas saying Netanyahu has overturned the ceasefire agreement for 6 weeks. There has been relative calm in the region, with the return of about 36 hostages in exchange for almost 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. That first phase of the ceasefire ended 2 weeks ago. Since then, negotiations have stalled, with neither side able to agree on a path forward. The second phase was supposed to see the release of nearly 60 hostages and bring an end to the 17-month war that began with the Hamas attack on Israel on October 7th of 2023. The White House saying Israel had consulted with the administration before the strikes. It was just 42 days ago that President Trump hosted Netanyahu at the White House, the first foreign dignitary to visit the White House for Trump's second term. Trump saying he could end the war and issuing a warning to Hamas if they delayed the return of the hostages. This new round of fighting will undoubtedly deepen the humanitarian crisis within Gaza, where food and aid haven't entered since March 2nd. As for the hostages, the last living American-Israeli hostage had been expected to be returned at the start of Phase 2, but clearly that is off the table for now. Hamas has rejected all of the proposals it received from President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, and this morning, Netanyahu promises the attacks in Gaza will only intensify. Mary?
So many pressing questions about what comes next here. Martha, thank you. Now to the perfect storm for wildfires. At least 20 million Americans will see dangerous fire weather conditions today. This coming after the deadly tornado outbreak across 12 states. Ginger is here tracking it all. Hey, Ginger, good morning.
Hey, so the atmosphere, Mary, has not given us a break at all. Not even a breath on the heels of that deadly storm this weekend, from the tornadoes, the wildfires, the dust storms. We're doing it again. It's a different setup, but still at least 8 states will have extreme fire behavior today.
This morning, a new storm bringing extreme fire danger to the plains. More than 20 million Americans under red flag warnings from Arizona to Missouri, with 40 to 75-mile-per-hour gusts and extremely dry conditions. In Guthrie, Oklahoma, a dangerous brush fire prompting evacuations Monday. This after deadly wildfires charred parts of the state over the weekend, leaving at least 4 dead and more than 140 injured. Our Maria Villarreal is there.
The smoke here is thick and heavy, and the winds are blowing at an unbelievable pace. Right now, fire crews are coming from all different areas to try and put out fires that continue to spark just like this.
These fires right on the heels of that weekend storm that spawned dozens of tornadoes throughout the South and Midwest.
You're in shock, and it's like a bad dream, and the reality's starting to set in now, and it's like, now what do we do?
New images showing that massive EF4 tornado that devastated Jackson County, Arkansas.
Oh my God.
Winds up to 190 miles per hour. And new video showing a tornado throwing debris in Gordo, Alabama. The death toll from that storm rising, at least 42 killed. Now, the long road ahead, picking up the pieces.
It's not just the fire danger, but with these winds widespread, you could see power outages. You could see things being thrown around even without the fire, even difficult travel because it blows dust. So a lot of times overnight, you get a little reprieve in the winds. That's not happening. We got this really strong low-level jet, and all of the areas that you see here are this morning. So gusts 30 to 40 already, and by the afternoon, we'll see those up to 75 miles per hour. Pair that with relative humidity in the dry area, kind of highlighted in gray, as low as 6%. And that's why we have the extreme level 3 out of 3 fire danger for Amarillo, Lubbock, Midland into western Oklahoma. This is just today. Tomorrow, it sinks a little south, and Dallas is included in the elevated risk.
Yeah, we're seeing that ripple effect with all of it, Ginger. Thank you. Appreciate it. We turn now to the Trump administration's legal battle over the deportation of hundreds of Venezuelan migrants. A federal judge demanding an explanation as to why the government ignored his order blocking the deportations and to turn around the planes that had already taken off. Our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, is tracking the latest. Rachel, good morning.
Whit, good morning to you. And this showdown between the White House and the courts only escalating this morning. The administration tried to get this hearing canceled, even calling for the judge to be removed, but they were forced to show up and explain their actions. Overnight, a federal judge hauling the Trump administration back into a courtroom, demanding to know why those deportation flights landed in El Salvador when he ordered that they be turned around. The administration claims the men on board were members of criminal gangs. Many were deported under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, which allows the government to deport people with little to no due process, and was last used to round up Japanese Americans during World War II.
He has gotten rid of them a lot. There are a lot more to go.
As those 2 planes were in the air, that federal judge, James Boasberg, speaking from the bench, ordering the planes to return to the United States immediately. But that did not happen. The White House offering several explanations. The press secretary raising questions about the way that order was given.
Well, there's actually questions about whether a verbal order carries the same weight as a legal order as a written order.
But the judge not buying that, calling it a, quote, heck of a stretch, and also pushing back on the administration's claims that the order didn't apply because the planes had crossed into international waters. The judge stating, my equitable powers are pretty clear that they do not lapse at the water's edge. The architect of the president's immigration policy, Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, questioned whether judges have the authority to rule over the president's policies at all. Is it the administration's understanding that you would comply with the verbal order?
No district court judge who presides over just some small, little geography of the whole country could possibly presume to have the authority to direct the expulsion of terrorists from our soil, who, by the way, are also here illegally.
The White House has not released the identities of those deported or extensive details on their alleged crimes. The Justice Department lawyers refuse to provide any additional information to support their claims, insisting it would pose a national security risk. Democrats on the Senate Judiciary Committee accusing the Trump administration of an unlawful brazen power grab. But border czar Tom Homan defiant.
We're not stopping. I don't care what the judges think. I don't care what the left thinks. We're coming.
So there was a third deportation flight that took off after the judge's written orders were published. The administration is arguing that those immigrants were deported on different grounds. They'll have to submit a sworn declaration today to back that up. And another hearing is now scheduled for Friday, George.
Okay, Rich, let's get more on this from our chief Washington correspondent, John Carl. And John, White House has been signaling resistance to the courts since the president was inaugurated on January 20th. This is the most direct defiance yet.
But, George, we are seeing a wide-ranging, strategic, deliberate effort by this White House to shift the balance of power away from Congress, away from the courts, into the presidency. So this is the most direct. I mean, you have a situation where the administration is defying the verbal orders of a judge and then refusing to answer basic questions about who was on those flights. But it's against the backdrop of the administration disavowing civil service protections in the firing of federal employees. We saw the president himself declare that President Biden's preemptive pardons are null and void. We have seen the president issue executive orders to sanction law firms who have done work for his political opponents. And we've seen the administration fail to comply with an order to resume foreign aid that has been congressionally mandated, passed by Congress. All that against the backdrop of a senior administration official who you heard there in Rachel's piece say, I don't care what judges think. Now, George, we've seen presidents complain and complain mightily about court rulings, but what we have never seen is a president or a White House suggest that they will not comply with a judge's order. It's important to point out that right now, though, the administration says they are no longer, they are at least temporarily halted, consistent with the judge's order, those deportation flights under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. They are, at least for now, they say, complying with that judge's order.
You laid out this litany of cases that we've seen so far. Several of them will end up likely at the Supreme Court, and that's when we face the real question, because we've heard J.D. Vance, Vice President J.D. Vance in the past say that the president even could have the power to defy the Supreme Court's ruling.
Yeah, J.D. Vance quoting President Andrew Jackson, a quote which is not actually historically accurate, but often repeated. The Chief Justice has made his ruling, now let him enforce it. That will be the big test. Now, I should say that the administration feels confident that they're going to win many of these cases, that they will ultimately prevail at the Supreme Court. But if the Supreme Court, and remember, this Supreme Court has ruled against this president, if that happens, will they comply with that order? That's the real constitutional test.
Okay, John Carl, thanks very much. President Trump is also set to talk to Vladimir Putin this morning about the war in Ukraine. Chief International Correspondent James Longman on the scene in Ukraine. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, George. This is the first known contact between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump since that US brokered ceasefire deal that Ukraine agreed to. But there is some concern already here in Ukraine about just what this call might be all about, because Donald Trump has used language which is worrying people here. He thinks his direct intervention is going to change things, but he has spoken about how him and Putin will talk about land, about the division of assets. For Ukraine, they feel like that is cutting them out of the process, and this is just Vladimir Putin negotiating directly with a US president. Now, as far as objectives go, the US clearly will want Vladimir Putin to agree to this ceasefire. For the Russians, you could say they've already achieved one of their objectives, which is to be taken seriously again by the international community, to be accepted back into the international fold, to have relations with the United States normalized. So, is Vladimir Putin going to come back in from the cold after 3 long years? And what does all this mean for Ukraine? Mary?
Yeah, all eyes on who will ultimately get what in this deal. James, thank you. Now to breaking news overnight. Astronauts Sunny Williams and Butch Wilmore are finally headed home after 9 long months at the International Space Station. Faith Abube is in Cape Canaveral, Florida with the story. Faith, good morning.
Good morning to you, Mary. The families of those 2 astronauts have waited 9 long months for this moment and just cannot wait to hug them as soon as possible. A few hours ago, Sunny's family telling our team that everyone is planning parties. They are ready to celebrate the pair as soon as they touch down. Overnight, the incredible images from the International Space Station. Sunny and Butch officially now on their way back to Earth. Their SpaceX Dragon capsule undocking from the International Space Station with 2 other astronauts on board after unexpectedly spending the last 9 months in space in what was supposed to be only an 8-day mission. But technical issues kept them from returning to Earth with that original Boeing capsule. This past weekend, Crew 10, the relief team, arrived at the ISS to replace them, and now the journey back home is underway. Sunny's sister tells me she is looking forward to splashing down tonight, right around dinner time, according to NASA, along Florida's coast. They are excited, and she is excited to see her loved ones, but especially looking forward to seeing her 2 dogs, Gunner and Rotor. Guys.
Yeah, their family's thrilled to welcome them back home. It's been a long time.
All smiles there this morning.
Absolutely. Faith Abube, thank you so much. We turn now to the first ever champions of the new Women's 3-on-3 Basketball League. Robin was at the game last night and joins us from Miami with all the highlights. And Robin, a big moment for the fans and the players. Good morning.
Good morning to you too. Yeah, this is the future of the women's game right here. The Miami Suns, they are an AAU local basketball team, and also the future Unrivaled. It is a fitting title because you can consider all the excitement around women's basketball right now. Okay, they've been up all night. They have been cheering, so, you know, they're a little quiet right now. Really, this is it? The league was started by 2 of the biggest names in the WNBA, Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, to help keep these talented players home during the offseason. And the Stars turned out to see them play last night. This is one of the biggest moments of the night. Did you all see this? Okay. And this is when the Rose knew it was going their way. 6-time WNBA All-Star Chelsea Gray hitting that at the buzzer at the end of the 3rd quarter. It went in. She gave her team the lead. They never gave it up. She was named Finals MVP, finishing the night with 18 points, 8 assists after putting 39 points up in the semifinal. And she was going to join us. Chelsea Gray and the champion Rose, they're going to join us live here on GMA in our next hour. You ready for that? I knew that would get them going, guys.
You got him, Rob.
Excitement down there. Also coming up new at 7:30, the top university said to give free tuition to a lot of potential students. We have the details on that.
Plus, the young man at the center of the missing student mystery now demanding to be allowed to leave the Dominican Republic, and what the missing students' parents are now saying.
Coming up, has your best friend made the list for top dog? We'll be right back.
And an opportunity here to close it out. 1 for 2 tonight. At 1 and 4, they were just planting seeds.
Oh, welcome back. The gang's all here. Lara's at the set, so we're all ready for this action right here. That was the winning moment from last night's Unrivaled championship basketball game. The Rose Basketball Club winning it all. Robin is there in Miami for our slam dunk morning. Oh, Robin. First of all, Miami, really? And Times Square? Something I can't.
Wait a minute. I'm here and you're there. Yeah, but yeah, and you're talking sports with me. This is Unreal. But you know, the Unrivaled League is unlike anything in women's sports right now, guys. It's inspiring the next generation of athletes. You know, they were quiet about 5 minutes ago, and then we put a basketball in their hands and look at them go. These awesome young women are from the Miami Suns AAU League here in the Miami area. And I can't wait to tell you more about what makes this 3-on-3 league so special. They want me to play around the world. Y'all know what that is? Yeah. Back in the city, remember Around the World?
Sure do.
It involves a basketball, I'm guessing.
You do not.
Let us know. We will see how she did in a little bit. First, new at 7:30. Federal Reserve begins 2 days of meetings today ahead of tomorrow's decision on interest rates. Fed expected to hold rates steady. It lowered rates 3 times late last year, ending a series of hikes designed to tame inflation. Also, the FAA is investigating another scary incident involving a passenger jet. A Delta passenger jet from Jacksonville was attempting to land at New York's LaGuardia Airport when the left wing struck the runway. There were 80 passengers and crew on the flight. No injuries reported, but the aircraft is now out of service.
Also starting this fall, Harvard will give free tuition to all students from families making under $200,000 a year. That's about 86% of American households. Families making under $100,000 will also qualify for free housing, food, and health services. The annual tuition at the university is about $83,000 all included. There is one catch, though. You have to actually get into Harvard first, you know. And it is an early opening day for Major League Baseball with Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers taking on the Cubs in Tokyo this morning, while the rest of the league is still in spring training. And Shohei Ohtani, we heard, got a base hit. So the Tokyo crowd getting what they wanted.
Showtime.
Yeah, showtime with Shohei.
Right now, we're going to turn to the latest on the American college student who vanished on spring break. Her parents now asking Dominican police to declare her deceased, as lawyers for the last person to hear demand he be released. Ariel Reshef is in the Dominican Republic. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, George. Just a heartbreaking development overnight in this case. The family of Sadiksha Kananki acknowledging that she likely drowned, hoping to put an end to this painful chapter. And now the attorneys for Joshua Reeby have filed a motion in local court here trying to get him released so he can go back home.
This morning, the family of college student Sadiksha Kananki, who vanished while on spring break in the Dominican Republic, acknowledging they believe she died. ABC News obtaining this formal written request to the Dominican police. The family asking for a legal declaration of death. Kananki's parents also stating they trust the authorities' investigation. The letter saying the Kanankis believe the last person who saw their daughter has cooperated with the investigation and that there is no evidence of foul play. Authorities say they believe Joshua Reeby was with Kananki before she vanished. Officials have long said she likely drowned. Reeby's attorneys demanding authorities in the Dominican Republic release the 22-year-old, who they say is being held illegally and surveilled in his hotel during the investigation. His team filing a motion urging a judge to order officials to return his passport and allow him to go back to the U.S. Overnight, community members of Reeby's hometown in Iowa saying Josh and his family are well loved and he exemplifies compassion, respect, and integrity.
Now, here in the Dominican Republic, officials are not allowed to detain anyone without charges for more than 48 hours. Reeby's attorneys say that time is up. A judge could make a decision about his release today. Mary?
And we know you'll be watching that closely, Ariel. Thank you. Now to the influencer who shared that video of herself grabbing a baby wombat from its mother. She's left Australia and is responding to critics and the government. Eva Pilgrim is here with the story. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Mary. Sam Jones is breaking her silence, apologizing for taking that baby wombat, saying it was a mistake. But her apology causing even more controversy as she railed the Australian government for how it treats wildlife.
This morning, the American hunting influencer who sparked backlash overseas after posting video of herself taking a baby wombat from its mother, now firing back.
The same government that is calling for my head is the one that spends millions of your tax dollars to mass slaughter native Australian animals.
Sam Jones, who is no longer in Australia, saying she has gotten death threats after posting this video.
I got a baby wombat.
In the video, you can hear the baby wombat screeching as Jones runs across the street with it to a car, the mother chasing after her. Jones saying she stopped to check on the baby because she saw it on the side of the road. I looked it over quickly and immediately returned it to its mother. I ensured that the mother and Joey did reunite, went off together, and that they got off the road.
Okay, Mama's right there, and she is pissed. Let's let him go.
The influencer posting the statement on her Instagram writing, "Am I a villain? Things, dear reader, are not as they seem." Going on to blast the Australian government's handling of wildlife. While the Prime Minister wishes harm on me for picking up a wombat, I implore you to take a good hard look at what is currently being done. Then decide for yourself if I, a person who certainly makes mistakes, am really your villain.
Now, the Australian government telling us they are aware of the incident and will not comment further at this time, but they did point us to a Conservation Act, which says it's against the law to take or move a threatened species. The wombat is considered a protected species in Australia, guys.
I mean, how many times? Right.
Just broke my heart.
Just don't do it. Even if it's your instinct, don't do it unless you see something's terribly wrong.
Let's go back to Robin in Miami. How'd you doing around the world?
Oh, not so bad. I got a little lost about Portugal, but then I made the rounds, around the world. But George, tip-top to the final buzzer. The first Unrivaled championship game was just that, Unrivaled. I'm here with the champions right here, and a huge moment. It was a huge moment for women's sports. Take a look.
The Rose.
This morning, the Rose Basketball Club waking up as the first ever Unrivaled champions. The Rose defeating the Vinyl in the first of its kind 3-on-3 women's basketball league. Veteran Brittany Sykes, who led her team with 21 points.
Sykes, 2, and the foul.
Sealing the deal at the free throw line.
Rose Basketball Club is the first Unrivaled champion.
The electrifying 2-month-long tournament featuring 6 teams packed with the top women's basketball players. A groundbreaking league created by Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier.
I want people to know that Unrivaled is changing the game of women's sports. We're changing what it means to pay and treat women's athletes with our equity, with our pay, with our experience. I feel like we're revolutionizing the game.
Star power showing up for the title game, including Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, plus 2-time WNBA champ A'ja Wilson. It was a chance to witness the unmatched moment for women's sports.
Look at this trio in the house.
Sitting courtside with Brittany Griner and Alicia Gray.
Well, Robin Roberts is more than just the host of Good Morning America. She's basketball royalty.
In the first half, a tight game with back-to-back buckets.
Howard fires the 3, bullseye.
Showcasing the players' individual versatility and skill. The Rose taking the lead at the end of the third quarter.
It's right time. Oh!
With this breathtaking half-court buzzer beater by captain Chelsea Gray.
Chelsea Gray.
The point guard crowned the league's playoff MVP after dominating in the second half.
Eyes on the back of her head.
Chelsea previously setting an unrivaled record with 39 points in the semifinals.
Just a testament to my work that I've been putting in this whole year, and a testament to my team.
It smells like roses for the newly crowned champs, who widened their lead in the fourth quarter, taking it all in a historic win. Oh my goodness, can we give it up for the champion Rose Club? Yes! Azuray's here, some of the team members are here. It was so much fun to see. In our next hour, we're going to be with more of that championship team, your newest Unrivaled champions, and they're going to join us. They're going to join us live. Y'all, did y'all go to bed at all, y'all? Come on.
Took a little nap.
A little nap. But we'll see them coming up. But it was so much fun, y'all. I'm so proud, and so happy to see where they're taking the women's game right now. And I said this before, it is not a moment, it is a movement, and it's wonderful to witness, guys.
Oof.
Absolutely.
And I know it matters to have you there, so that's fantastic, Robin. Thanks for bringing it.
Play of the day time. Lara is in her happy place.
I sure am, George. We are with the 3 most popular breeds in the country. They are ready for their debut, helped out by Brandy Munden, Vice President of Public Relations and Communication at the AKC. As you can see, my guy Ola is very thrilled.
Just get comfortable, Ola. Everything's great. Let's meet the top dogs. In 3rd place, I would do a drum roll on the lap, but I don't have a free hand right now. We've got a Golden Retrievers represented by Alistair. Look how gorgeous you are. You are so beautiful, Alistair. Coming in at number 2, Lara, you have?
I have Ola,
Yeah.
and of course is a black lab, the Labrador Retriever, always a great choice.
I know, and really calm, but very, very playful.
Yeah.
very, very
As
playful.
You can see, he's wild.
No, he is. But then there's Augie.
So good.
Augie is coming in for the 3rd year in a row. We can reveal it's the French Bulldog in the top breed. Now, Augie makes incredible sounds, but he's very quiet right now, Lara.
Yes, he is. And I want to ask you, Brandy, why is it that Frenchies top the list year after year?
I think, one, they're adorable. Look at that face. But also, I think as we do smaller living and more people are in apartments, they're highly adaptable. They're good in small spaces. They are love bugs. They just want to be with you most of the time. And I think that's what really attracts people to them. But just because they're the most popular breed doesn't mean it's the right breed for you.
That's true. That is true.
All right, so what is it about these 3, Brandy, that make them kind of the best and the top for, I guess, families is what we're talking about, really?
Absolutely. So Goldens, we've all grown up with them. We see them all the time. They're highly adaptable. They're great with families. They're going to go as much as you want to go. And that's really important to a lot of families, that they're great with kids and they're very gentle. They also do very well as service dogs. As for labs, labs are energetic. Again, they're part of the fabric of who we are. Yeah. They are a lot of fun. They love to hike. They love to run. And they also love to cuddle, which is probably number 1 on most people's list.
Oh my gosh, he's like a big body pillow. I love him so much.
Exactly.
Why do you guys release this list every year?
Well, we release it because, like everything, people want to know what's trending, but it's not a to-do list and it's not a to-own list. It's just a what's popular list.
Yeah.
So if you do your research and you find what breed works for you, then you'll be the best owner. And that's what dogs demand of us. Regardless of how you acquire your dog, we're supposed to give them the best life possible. So do your research.
Beautiful thing.
And make sure you can take care of them just the way they need.
That's the truth.
Brandy.
And of course, you can rescue all these kinds of dogs. And listen, guys, popularity is surging, but it's important. Do the research. As Brandy just said, do the research before you buy or adopt any kind of dog. And that is our play of the day, everybody. But coming up on GMA, a star-filled morning. Eva Longoria is here. The birthday girl is with us.
Oh, also Tyler Perry's here, so you can't go anywhere.
Good boy.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Breaking overnight. Israel resumes airstrikes in Gaza. Hundreds reported killed across the Strip. Hundreds more injured. The reaction this morning.
The new soda wars, Pepsi's nearly $2 billion move to take on Coca-Cola, and what you should know about popular prebiotic sodas.
Eva Longoria live on GMA, talking about her new movie.
And Tyler Perry is here live, talking about his new thriller and what's new with Medea.
And hoop, there it is. Make way for the queens of the court.
Rose Basketball Club is the first Unrivaled champion.
We are live in Miami with the brand new champions of the groundbreaking women's basketball league, Unrivaled. Co-founded by 2 superstar players and moms. It's a slam dunk for athletes, fans, and the next generation of superstars. As we say,
live from Times Square, it's Tuesday. Good morning, America.
And we hope your Tuesday is off to a good start. Good morning, America. I want to go back down to Robin in Miami.
don't make me take off my belt, George. I'll take off my belt. They know what that means here. Hey, guys, let's give it up for the Rose Basketball Club. They are the champions of the Unrivaled League. The three on... I said give it up for Unrivaled champions. You can tell none of us have been to bed. I'm telling you, they are changing the game when it comes to women's sports. This league was founded by WNBA superstars Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier. Coming up later, we're going to have a look, a very special look, at this one-of-a-kind league. I'm proud of y'all. So that is coming up. Stay with us with
Field anchoring and hyping up the crowd this
She's a
morning.
good hype woman.
Love it, Robin. We'll check in just a bit. Also ahead, we have the latest on the new soda wars.
First, look at the top stories breaking today. We're going to start with that breaking news overnight. The end of the ceasefire in Gaza. Israel launched extensive strikes across the Strip. I want to go back to Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George. This morning, hopes for the release of the remaining hostages, including the last living American-Israeli hostage, Idan Alexander, are shattered for now. Israel launching a massive wave of deadly airstrikes across the Gaza Strip just after 2:30 a.m. local time, the largest assault on Hamas targets since the ceasefire took effect nearly 2 months ago. The Hamas Ministry of Health reporting more than 400 people killed, more than 500 injured, and with dozens trapped under the rubble. That number is expected to rise. This comes after Hamas rejected all of the Israeli proposals and those of President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff. The White House was informed of the renewed assault by Israel, and in the coming days, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ordered his forces to intensify the attacks. Mary?
More attacks to come, Martha. Thank you.
We turn now to the new soda war. From Shark Tank hopefuls to beverage billionaires, the founders of prebiotic soda brand Poppi are cashing in after selling to Pepsi for nearly $2 billion. The deal still needs approval from regulators as Pepsi looks to compete with Coca-Cola's prebiotic soda, Simply Pop, as beverage makers look towards a less sugary future. Now, you may have seen Poppi in Super Bowl ads as annual sales rose to more than $100 million, but it hasn't all been smooth sailing. The company faced a lawsuit last year claiming the drinks weren't as healthy as they claimed. Poppi settled just last week for nearly $9 million. All right, we do turn now to tip-off of March Madness. The first 4 games are up first, with the winners advancing to the main bracket. Will Reeve is here with a preview. You got your brackets ready to start?
I do, and I have yours as well.
Yes,
one for you,
okay,
Mary.
perfect.
George got
Excellent.
his yesterday. So the first 4 is the 4 lowest ranked conference champions and the 4 lowest at-large bids. And tonight it all kicks off. It's St. Francis against Alabama State, playing for the right to play #1 overall Auburn. St. Francis playing its first NCAA tournament game since 1991. And then an intriguing matchup between San Diego State and the University of North Carolina. UNC is a marquee program, but they had a down year this year. And judging by most metrics the selection committee typically uses, UNC probably should have been on the outside looking in. And it is worth noting that UNC athletic director Bubba Cunningham is also the head of the selection committee, though he claims he was not in the room while the committee discussed UNC. There are 2 more first 4 games tomorrow. The women's first 4 begins then as well. So if everyone could please refer to their brackets. How far do you have these first 4 teams advancing? A first 4 team has made it to the Final 4 twice. A deep run, though, is a bit of a long shot. But since 2011, when the first 4 was created, at least one team has advanced past the first round every year, except for 2019. You got all that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
George following closely.
That was incredibly loud. Yes. It's a boom, 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 boom.
There you
boom.
go. It's all in the matrix here.
Thank you, Will. Coming up on our GMA morning menu, Robin's live in Miami with the Unrivaled champion. She'll have the best moments of last night's game. Special look at this new frontier in women's sports.
Also ahead, Nina Dobrev shares how you can join her on a mission to help the planet on this World Recycling Day.
Plus, we have special guests in Times Square this morning. Let's go to Lara and Sam. Hey, guys.
I mean, very special with 2 terrific guests. Eva Longoria making a stop here in Times Square on her worldwide birthday tour. She'll tell us about her brand new movie as well.
Also, Tyler's here, so we're going to talk about, you've got a brand new film out, right? But while you're here, can I sneak in a Medea question?
No, you cannot.
You might try.
I may still try.
No.
All that's coming up right here on GMA.
And we are back with our GMA cover story. Robin is unrivaled in Miami. Hey, Robin.
Oh, hey, George, having a great time here with the champions, the Rose. And I just want to talk to them a little bit. Chelsea Gray right here. This is the MVP. The MVP had 39 points in the semifinals, came up big in the second half, especially that buzzer beater at the end of the third.
I needed that one.
You needed that one. I think the team needed that one. How was the season for you all, overall?
It was great, man. The inaugural season. I mean, they didn't pick us to be here, and it wasn't a better way to kind of end it. We had a great time competing. Everybody in this league is great, so I had a great time.
Do you feel the crowd, the energy from everybody?
I love it. I love
right
the
on
energy.
top of you.
I feel like we need more fans in here, really.
Okay, okay, it's packed. Azrae, I'm telling you, we met you here on GMA, many of the viewers, with your dad. It was our series, The Side Hustle, and you had that restaurant that you have with your dad. And now here you are, the champions of the first Unrivaled League. What does that feel like for you?
Just amazing, honestly. Like Chelsea said, it's an inaugural season, so for us to be able to finish it out as the champs is pretty special.
So can we get comped at your restaurant?
Oh, yeah.
Free meal? Just make it.
We get the chance.
Okay. Where's Slim? This is Slim, y'all. This is Slim right here. No pressure. No pressure there on the free throw line.
Nah.
And you just rain like that. How have you grown as a player through this league?
Tremendously. I mean, everybody on this team has helped me grow into a better person, better leader, just a better human overall. So shout out to my team.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and I wish that Angel Reese was here as well.
We want
She's
Angel
on the
Reese.
team as well, and and she got hurt right before the playoffs, but more, she was part of you got to where you are. Coach Henry, Coach Henry. Okay, I remember you. You were an intern. 2020 for the Connecticut Sun of the WNBA, and here you are, head coach and a champion. Can you just tell us the impact of this league?
Just overall, I would just say the impact, just the opportunity that it gives all of these players, these women that go out there and play at the highest level and compete at the highest level and just go out there and play with so much passion and edge. So just them having the opportunity to go out there and show everything that they're made of.
Okay, and tell people, what does it mean when you take off the belt? What is it?
Kyle got it. Go ahead, Kyle.
Okay, you need my belt? Okay. Okay, just I want to make sure that. But how you all come together, because you weren't teammates prior to this. You all are on different WNBA teams. How do you gel like that, Chelsea? How do you come together?
Man, it's a lot of communication. You kind of have to relearn and learn each other all over again, like during games and during film sessions and conversations. And man, you want to just peak. You want to peak at the right time, and I think that's what we were able to do. Peak right going into playoffs.
Because y'all are a little rocky to start the season. I don't want to start nothing, but I was like, I don't know if you're going to make it. But it's like that's how you start. It's
how you finish. Exactly.
Yeah, you feel like you're a better player. This has helped you develop in some ways?
Yeah, for sure. It was a new format, the 3-on-3 full court for all of us. So it just challenged us mentally, just to think the game differently and physically and all of that.
And tell people about 3-on-3, because some people are like 3-on-3.
It's full court too.
Yeah,
man,
different.
You get one turnover, you going the other way.
Yeah, but so it's still challenging in that aspect.
Absolutely.
Okay, so where do you want to see the future of the league go, Slim?
I mean, there's been talks about it going other places other than Miami, so we'll have to see.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you all. You all set a fine example. This arena was built for you, and you saw those young team right there, the AAU. We're going to have them a little bit later. You taking pictures with them, and then they can just have this big vision for themselves. So we're all eating free. We're all eating free at the restaurant. Can't wait. But just really appreciate what you all are doing and continue to do. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go back to the studio now. Coming up in our next hour, we're going to have a special behind-the-scenes tour of how this facility here designed for these women athletes. Just for y'all, guys.
We're here now with the very talented, wonderful Eva Longoria, joining us this morning to talk about her brand new movie. It's called Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip.
Don't miss any adjective.
No, wouldn't think of it. And you just celebrated a very special birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday to Eva Longoria, everybody.
Thank you.
And I like the way you do it. You're sort of in the middle of Eva Palooza.
I am,
if you will.
Yes, it's going to be about a year-long celebration. Not a month long.
Why not?
Well, we started in Miami. I mean, I think I'm still a little tequila influenced.
Good.
Why not? Why not be?
Yeah,
but it was fun.
We've got video.
There we go. Well, let's not show all the video.
That looks fun.
Maybe
that's a party.
It was. That was day one. That was night one. We had 3 nights of this madness in
Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, how fantastic!
Yeah.
So, what does 50 mean to you? Turning 50?
You know, nothing is a number, but it does. You know, it does make you reflect on just. What your life has been so far, and mostly what I want it to be in the next 50 years. And so I was telling somebody this. I was like, it's been
such a ride for me up until now. I've been really lucky and blessed, but saying yes to everything, yes to every opportunity, yes to that movie, yes to this thing, yes to the thing. Now this second era is about saying no.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like, no, if it takes away from my family, if I have to put too much effort, if I'm just sleepy. I'm just tired.
If I'm still celebrating.
I'm like, no.
Is it true that it also might mean saying yes to a farm?
Oh, well, I grew up on a ranch, so I think you always end up going back to where you started. But yeah, I'm like I cook. I'm a homemaker,
Big
really.
cook,
I'm a very domestic person, and so I've been making like my own butter and my own bread and my own mayonnaise and my own coffee creamer.
Wow.
I make everything from scratch. I'm like a progressive trad wife.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I was like, you know what I need? I need chickens and goats and cows so I can get the milk and to make my stuff. It's only a means to an end. It's only a means to
another
an
brand.
end.
Yeah, I do too.
I've never heard progressive trad wife.
Yeah.
You talk about your journey. You take everybody on a journey in this movie. Let's give everybody a look.
I'd call it a stream. Wouldn't you call it a stream?
No, I would definitely call this a river.
No, look, the road is right there. We can get across.
Maybe Grandma could wait. I think Grandma would want us to all not drown.
I bet you this baby can handle it.
You know, honey, let's just turn around. This is definitely not the way. We'll just probably take this road, I think.
We're gonna do it.
What?
Yeah.
Very old.
No.
Not a good idea.
I already.
What do you hope everybody gets out of this movie?
Yeah. Oh, you know what's so funny is that it's based on these books, Alexander and the Horrible. There's like 90 bad days this kid has. Right? Like Alexander has a lot of bad days. So this is the new. Steve Carell and Jennifer Garner did the first one. Now this is the second one. So this is a road trip that's gone bad, and it's just a great family movie. There's not a lot of movies that you can sit and watch with your kids. You can sit and watch with your mom. And so I love being in these movies because then Santi can watch it with me.
Yeah.
And it's a pure comedy. I mean, it is so funny that, happens to have a Latino family, which makes me happy.
Now, I grew up, and I'm much older than you are, I grew up in a time when road trips were just what families did.
Yeah.
That's the way we took a vacation.
And I'm from Texas, so just to cross the state is a road trip. Anywhere we go, it is a road trip. Yeah. Going to school in the morning, road trip. But yeah, so it's a big state, and so everything was a road trip. I really grew up. I grew up with that van, but
and
although
planning
that was
for them, and kind of like the excitement with the family all in the car at the same time.
Yeah, without seatbelts, and it was like that was a time. You go, I'm 112, so it was a time. I would sleep. I would sleep in the back. In the back windshield. The back windshield, and I was like, I'm just taking a nap. Like that is what? Yeah. So, but road trips were the thing. Yeah.
So that feels good in this movie. Has Santi seen it yet? Did he approve?
You know what? He hasn't seen it yet because he's 6 now, and he saw Dora the Explorer, and he was very confused that I was Dora the Explorer's mom. And then he was like,
was he jealous?
You're my mom. Well, he was like, you're her mom? And I was like, well, and he goes, well, where is she? Like, why doesn't she live with us? That's what
your cool sister.
Yeah, he was like, oh my God, where is she? She's so cool. Yeah, but no, he hasn't seen it yet.
You know what's really cool? I was so excited to read that you're bringing back In Search Of.
Yes,
that's very, very fun.
So
that's another
Searching
project
for
that
Mexico.
You said. Yes.
Now we have Searching for Spain, where I just eat and drink my way through Spain, and a camera's there. But it's so fun because Stanley Tucci started the series with Italy,
which was
but Spain. You guys wait for Spain.
A lot of fun.
I can't wait.
Amazing. A lot of sangria.
Oh.
A lot of jamon. A lot of
Iberian. Oh.
Yeah. But it's amazing how diverse the gastronomy is in Spain. I mean, from the north to the south.
And it really is a roadmap, no pun intended, but for viewers because it gives you great ideas not only of what to eat when you go, but where to go because you go to places that are a little bit off the beaten track.
Yeah, we do highbrow and everything in between into somebody's kitchen, and so it's really quite amazing. But it's amazing. Spain has really exploded gastronomically. They are like the destination for gastronomy, and that's only happened in the last 15 years. So we explore how did this exponential jump happen, and the pioneers in Spain, those chefs that really changed the game in Spain. It's really a beautiful show.
I will watch this.
Yeah. Sounds like you're still saying yes to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I know, it feels like it, but I just turned 50 yesterday. So now I'm saying no. Unless there's a country I want to go eat and drink through, then I will do it.
Happy birthday. I know the celebrations continue, right?
Yes.
You have one in Spain, right?
I'm going to to celebrate in Mexico City, Los Angeles, Spain, and Paris. So we have many more parties.
That's its own show.
Yeah, we should have done that show. But it would have been I don't think it would be fit for television.
Well, congrats on it all, and many, many happy birthdays to come. Please come see us again.
I will.
Always great. And everybody, you have to check it out. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip. It premieres exclusively on Disney Plus. How lucky are we? That's on March 28th. And coming up, we go back to Robin in Miami. She's got more on what it takes to be unrivaled. She's in Miami.
Sports. Yes, I know. Why are we?
She's going to come to your party.
Right.
She should have come to my party. We'll be back.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
And welcome back to GMA. We are going to send it back to Miami, where Robin is at the new facility that's home to the Unrivaled Basketball League. Hey, Robin.
Hey there, Whit. Yes, I'm going to tell you about that. What a place to call home. Unrivaled sold out this arena 3 games in a row on opening weekend, and it is so much more than a place to watch a great game of basketball. It is a hub for sports history and a blueprint of what many hope to come for women's sports. The inaugural season of Unrivaled has been a game changer.
Leave it for Gray, 3 in the air, got
it! The innovative 3-on-3 league, offering WNBA players a domestic, high-paying alternative to playing overseas during the off-season. With some of the W's top talent buying in, including Sabrina Ionescu, Brittany Griner, Skylar Diggins-Smith, and Angel Reese.
When they're all overseas and they're spread apart, we don't get to see them interact as much. It's incredible seeing them together during the off-season.
Co-founded by 2 of the W's biggest stars, Brianna Stewart and Nafisha Collier. Queen Fee winning the highly anticipated one-on-one competition and MVP.
Nafisha Collier is the one!
Unrivaled players make an average salary of $220,000 and are offered equity stakes and performance-based bonuses, thanks to a growing list of big-name investors like Steph Curry, Coco Gauff, Dawn Staley, and Michael Phelps.
Unrivaled is the highest-paying women's professional league out right now. You usually see female athletes getting paid more on their endorsements and other things, but to see them getting paid what they deserve from just playing basketball, incredible.
The league's Miami-based arena, catering to the women athletes with a luxury glam room, recovery rooms, a content creation room, and on-site child care. Fee's saying that's something she's especially proud of.
The child care aspect was so important for us. Stewie and I are both mothers. We understand the hardships of having reliable, responsible childcare just allows you to play your best game. So we knew from the beginning that was going to be a huge staple for us.
Another major W for the league, their social media presence. Good job. Game highlights and players' pregame tunnel looks often going viral.
I feel like the way that we were able to capture people's personalities, their unique personalities, I think was so fun. No matter what makes you you, I thought we did a good job of highlighting that instead of changing it to fit what the narrative is of a popular social media presence.
Superfan Michael Giamanco has been coming to the games every weekend since the start of the season.
This league has made history this year, and it's only going to get bigger and better, and I've been privileged to come. It was a great idea because it's always sold out, and what they've done with the crowd interaction, the fan experience, they really got it right.
I hope that players leave better than they came in, all of us. That was the goal of Unrivaled. One of the big goals, of course, is the player development aspect of it. And I feel like we've done that.
I should say they have. And the basketball fever, it does not end here. We have all the exciting March Madness matchups to look forward to, plus the WNBA draft next month. And I've told you this before, it's not a moment. It is a movement when it comes to women's sports. You know that.
Absolutely. And Robin, speaking of that movement, those AAU athletes, they're already counting down to next season as well.
They really are, man. They were balling. I mean, you should see them in the commercial breaks. I was extremely impressed with your play, and I mean that sincerely. And a lot of them said, "Remember my name because you're going to see me again." You said that to me. I remember that. Okay, and this is Kyla. You've been playing for 3 years now.
Yeah.
All right, and you've come here to watch Unrivaled. So what did you like most about watching the game here?
It was
Just look over there.
It was really fun, and I think it was really cool, and I hope to experience it again, and I really hope to be a basketball player one day and be unrivaled. And to all the people who support me, like my dad and my mom, they are the best. Thank you.
That's why I want you to look at. I didn't want you to look at me. I want you to look right in the camera and say that. And she meant every. So where are they right now? Where you?
My dad's right there.
Hey, come out here, Dad. Come on, yeah, you come out here, Dad. Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet what she just said and the support. And I saw you earlier with her, and I'm telling you, you all can hoop. You can play. But more importantly, it's what it's teaching you. And I look at all, you should see behind the camera right now, all the parents with the phones out right now. But they got up bright and early. They wanted to support Unrivaled. We wanted to do the same. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity. And I thank you all so very, very, very much. Let's go back down to New York.
And you know I love a girl dad shout out too. Yeah. He knew his place too. He's right off there. Now it's time to Thank you, Robin. Love it.
Our friend Tyler Perry is here. He has a new movie called Duplicity. He wrote, directed, and produced it. Welcome back. It's great to see you.
Good to see you all. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Tell us about Duplicity.
Tell you about Duplicity. Well, you know, it's a movie that I wrote because I was just kind of tired of people taking advantage of movements and using them for their own gain. So I wanted to do this thriller based around people doing some stuff that is pretty nefarious around movements that are happening in the country. So I want, it's pretty twisted. It's pretty twisted. And the people you think you can trust end up being somebody who was out for their own gain. So it's pretty twisted. I like it.
Let's give everybody a look.
We are getting reports of a shooting in the Ragdale community.
We have a field reporter on the way to the scene, but the Post is reporting, and we can't confirm this story, but according to their reporting, there has been another shooting of an unarmed black man.
The man was shot today by a rookie Chesterfield police officer. The shooting victim has been identified as 36-year-old Rodney Black.
Commercial right now.
Whoa. Look how you guys are leaning in like,
yeah,
right. But can you imagine reading a prompter and seeing the name of your husband or wife? Or that's how it all starts. That's how it all starts.
Oh, no.
Yeah, then it's off the rails from there. So
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
everything. I kept reading the research, going, I need to see this. I need to see this.
Crazy right.
Do you think it's because of the ride that's what will drive audiences, or is it the messaging underneath?
Oh no, it's the ride. It's the ride. It's trying to figure out who's telling the truth, what really happened, where's this, where's that. So it's pretty twisted. I enjoyed writing it. I enjoyed directing it.
Did you know the ending when you started?
I never do. When I start writing, I just.
Good question.
Yeah, really good question. That wasn't on the cards. But that's George. That's George. No. That's a good move. No, when I start writing, I don't know where I'm going with the story. I'm listening to the characters because they show up to me like people. Like I'll be walking through the house and I'll hear somebody say something about something, and I'll say, I need to write that down in my head.
Oh.
And then a week later, I'll hear something else and write it down, and then all of a sudden I realize these characters are showing up. So when I sit at the computer, I let them come through, and in Duplicity, they came through crazy as hell. So I was just like, these people are crazy. I don't ever want to know them in my life, but it's such a fun ride.
There's no doubt. Same thing. I want to see this movie desperately. It just sounds so juicy. Then speaking of character development, let's get some Medea in here. 2000. Let me.
I'm so sick of this old
No,
broad.
I know.
I'm so sick of this old
But
broad.
it's such a.
What is it? Damn it! What is it?
Yes.
And was it I Can Do Trouble All by Myself? Was that 2000?
I can do bad
all by myself. And now, there's another one coming out, right?
Kind of like when the country thinks that they can do it all alone. I can do bad all by myself.
I can do bad all by myself.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. And now you're going to put Medea in a destination wedding in the Bahamas, if I've got this one right.
Yes, if she can get out of the country. Yes, if she can get out of the country. She's a felon. So, what are y'all doing? Oh man, come on. So anyway, Duplicity is on Prime, and it's a wonderful thriller that I think people will enjoy.
You wrote it.
Yeah, there's no heller in it, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I'm excited about Duplicity, but back to Medea.
Here we go. I can't get away from her. No.
So we took the premise of your movie and we thought this would be kind of fun. So we're going to tell you some wedding no-nos, and you tell us which one Medea would be most likely to do.
Okay.
The first is a guest showing up to a wedding
as a guest, wearing all white.
What's wrong? What's wrong with that? That's all she had. What the hell else she gonna put on? I don't know. Is that something wrong? Is that football with that?
Yes, the bride wears
supposed
white.
to be only the bride.
Right. Yes.
Oh, because the bride's a virgin. Okay, yeah. Okay, great. Sure. Let's stick to those rules. Yeah. Okay.
The bride just wants to look uniquely individual.
Okay.
Stand out of the crowd.
Got it.
out.
Like a
Medea would-
virgin. Yeah, I got it. I'm pure. I've never had any.
Let's do another one.
Okay, let's
because
do it.
this one went so well.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you're at the wedding,
Yeah.
and someone takes the tablescape or takes the wedding decorations home. Apparently, that's a no-no. I enjoy a floral arrangement from a wedding, but would Medea like walk away with stuff?
Hell yeah, and from the funeral too, she take all the flowers. The person dead, what they gonna do? Medea would take the flowers and go home and watch Duplicity on Prime. Duplicity on Prime. It's Thursday with no Medea in it, but she would take the flowers home and watch Prime.
I have one more question.
Here we go.
You're just not going to give up.
She's not gonna give up. Let's go.
I'm crying.
Okay, one more.
I'm just curious.
Okay.
So the priest says.
That's one hell of a rock you got in
Medea would say that.
Whoa, when you put your hand there, I was like, wow, I couldn't see anything. Wow. Yeah, I was blind. I couldn't even hear your question about Medea because that rock was in my face. Wow.
It's payback for 3 questions.
And she's trying to
Duplicity,
get
everybody.
Duplicity.
All right.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
okay, but you know when they say, does anybody object?
Yes.
Would Medea object, even if she really didn't know?
Yes. She
Just
would stand up and object. I object. I don't want them to get married. Everybody go home and watch Duplicity on Prime. That's what she would do. That's exactly what she would do.
Starts streaming on Prime Video on
Thank you, George. Thank you, George.
And we have 2 Duplicity stars coming to the studio tomorrow. That was great. Thank you. Let's go.
Coming up, Nina Dobrev is here with important news on this World Recycling Day. We are back, and you just saw a trailer for an inspiring new short film. This segment is sponsored by SC Johnson, and just in time for World Recycling Day, they have launched that film along with an advocacy campaign. Actress and spokesperson Nina Dobrev is here to tell us more. Welcome to GMA. We are so happy to have you. But first, just tell me why you're connected to this. Why does this inspire you?
I mean, like you mentioned, it's World Recycling Day today, and it just makes me so happy. I'm really passionate about the oceans and keeping them clean, but the fact that there's a whole day just dedicated to talking about this topic and building awareness and getting that out there is amazing, because it's a big problem that we're facing in society right now, and especially in America. The system is kind of broken. Like, we might be doing our part, but the government needs to fix the back end part of actually making sure that things get recycled.
Right. And so tell us why for SC Johnson this initiative is such a good fit.
Well, it's a great fit because SC Johnson has a long history of advocacy, and they're conscious about the environment, and they've been doing a lot of work for a long time, and this is a perfect example of that. They've started this movement, they've created this film to get people to be more conscious and aware, and you saw a quick little tidbit of the movie. It's just a small trailer, but the film is really inspiring and impactful and hopeful. Like, I got a little teary-eyed and emotional just watching the trailer, so watching the whole film, it's really impactful.
Right, and so you mentioned the broken system. I mean, less than 10% of recycling is done properly for plastics. And so tell me, because I know, at least for my family, people at home, people here, they say, well, if it's not being done right, what do I have to do with it? What can I do?
Well, exactly. That's kind of why we're here today. I wanted to get it out there and talk about the fact that legislature needs to change, and the best way to do that, there's a few things that we can do. First of all, join the Zuzu movement. Zuzu is the name of the crab. He's my friend. Zuzu the crab, you know, he mistakes plastic for a shell, and even though that is very innovative, it's not great. We don't want him to do that. We should be reducing the plastics in the oceans and on the beaches. And the way people can help is that they can join the Zuzu movement by going to the website, learning about the impact, and also learning about how they can lend their voices to get the recycling infrastructure to change on a government level by signing the petition. That's obviously the most important part. So if people go to the Join Zuzu website, joinzuzu.com, then that's how they can sign the petition and really make a big difference.
And I think you'll learn a lot because we see these pictures, the turtles and all the sea creatures that we care so deeply about. People don't understand. It's not like just people on boats throwing plastic out. This is plastic from land that ends up in oceans.
Yeah, no, and I recently, I went to this one beach that I'd visited 6 years ago, and it was one of my favorite places, so much so that I went back to, because I loved it. And when I came back the second time, it was littered with plastics everywhere. There was kids like flip-flops and bottles and straws and all kinds of things, and obviously it hurt my soul. But you know, I hope to be a mother someday. I'm sure a lot of people have children. They care about the future generations, and it's not moving in the right direction. We really need to make an impact now.
Yeah, and the children will come with you. I'll tell you, my kids, when we go into a birthday party and they see balloons, they'll be like, uh-oh, Mom's not going to like this.
No, yeah, and it's great that they're aware of it, but we need to continue that awareness.
Yes. Okay, with Zuzu, with Nina, with all of us, we are all going to make this better. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. And thank you to our sponsor, SC Johnson. You can learn more about the advocacy campaign and Zuzu's journey on GMA's social media platforms. Thanks, Nina.
Let's give a big thank you to Robin and our whole crew down there.
That was really fun. Great job, Rob. Great to see you guys down there. And hey, we have such a big week ahead, including the Jonas Brothers. They will be here on Friday, so don't miss that.
Have a great day, everybody. We will see you tomorrow.
Yeah.